Morning everyone, hope you're all well. As you can see, I'm filming from the van. The job we're starting today, I was meant to have a full day with Paul stripping it all down. As it turned out, we had a phone call yesterday afternoon and we had an emergency job I had to pop to for a drum filter, so I had to go and sort that out. So instead of it being a nice casual day of filming and starting to strip out, it's ended up that it's going to be manic, and we've got loads to get done on this job already, and we're stacked up on jobs now, so we've got to try and get it done on time. So yeah, the easy solutions that was I filmed from the van. Don't worry, we are using hands-free and everything in the van, so it's all above board. But yeah, the job we are starting today, it's a regular customer. We built the pond 9 years ago. It's a pond. I absolutely love this pond because it's what I class as a traditional pond. It's not like the modern raised ponds that we're building a lot nowadays. It's 6,000 gallon and the whole lot is in ground, so it's surrounded by rocks. It's got a waterfall coming down. It's run off 2 bottom drains, but yeah, we'll go over the pond when we get there and I'll show you all that. But yeah, it's over Warwick, it's in Ofton, and the lady actually runs a cattery. It's a lovely place, so if we get a chance I will try and just show you around the place and have a quick look. But yeah, when we get there I'll get into more detail on what we're doing and we'll get to it, so we shall see you there. Right then, here's the pond. So the fish bred last year, so she had some small fish in here, so she's actually had to put this wiring up temporarily, which we're going to change out. Yeah, as you can see, it's all in ground. It's about 6,000 gallon, runs off 2 bottom drains, a nice bridge over the middle, waterfall up there, and then it curves round the corner there. There's three returns that come back in. One's under the bridge, and then there's one that's not on at the moment. See a koi down there. I'll run over the filter system and show you what's going on with it and what we're doing. So we've got the 2 bottom drains. Each bottom drain feeds to a Cetus sieve, and then there's a big pump just down there, and that is pulling from both of the sieves and then going into a bead filter. So, and then that returns, through 2 110 UVs. So obviously this pond is getting a hell of a lot of sunshine. So yeah, you see load of toads and frogs and stuff in the sieves because they keep coming through the bottom drains. Yeah, it's worked fine. I say it's just quite high maintenance, so it needs a lot of cleaning, and we've been coming over to clean it continuously. So we're going to I'll show you what we're changing it out for, and hopefully it will lower the maintenance. So this will be the filter we are installing. It is the Awaz Profi Clear Premium Compact L. Absolute brilliant piece of kit. My favourite filter on the market at the moment. They can handle a huge volume of water, work absolute brilliant. You've got a lovely drum on this side, nice big screens on there, and then this is the bio chamber side, so it's nice and tidy, relatively small for the amount of water that it can handle. You can pull up to 25,000 litres through this. It's got these bypass pipes on, so it's just the air coming up will disturb the water, so that gives plenty of dwell time on the media. We've also got these connections. If you're not connecting to the chamber that holds the pump and UVs, you can replace these out for these ones, which are just undoing them screws just down there. Undo them screws, change these out, and then you can go straight from 4-inch to 2-inch, which just makes it easier to get onto your pumps rather than going from 6-inch to 4-inch to 2-inch. So yeah, I will we'll get it all installed, and then I will actually run over how the drum works and show you it all running and when the media's in, and we'll go over it in more detail once we've actually installed it. But yeah, I would highly recommend them, and as I say, they are a brilliant filter. Right, morning everyone, this is day 2. So yesterday I didn't record it, to be honest. We got the sieves out, These we've actually said to the customer as well, we're going to be putting them for sale, probably listing them on eBay or something. So if anyone is interested, there is the 2 sieves and there is the bead filter which we've removed. As I say, we'll be getting listed for sale, but if you're interested, just drop me a message. With just trying to obviously get a bit of money back for the customer. So we said if she sells the old filter system, then obviously it can contribute towards the new filter system. So yeah, we got the bead out. Everything is, I'll just pull this trap up. Yeah, sorry, my finger was in front of it. So I put a little ramp in there just in case the cats go in there, just so they can get out. Unfortunately, I didn't film it, but I'm sure in hindsight I should have, because these pipes down here, they're the bottom drains. So obviously I had to cut them and cap them with them live, with the water still. The pond's still completely full because we wanted to keep all the fish in there and we didn't want to have to drain 6,000 gallon. So yeah, in hindsight I probably should have filmed it, because I would have, sure everyone would have loved to have seen me getting wet. And the first one didn't go so great. It started filling up and we were struggling to get it out. The second one was relatively easy because it's got the 90-degree on. We just literally cut it with a saw, push the sieve to the side and just put the cap on. But yeah. Right, a quick note as well on this pond. As I say, you might be able to pick it up on the if I zoom in. There's a bottom drain there, and there is another bottom drain that you can't really see just underneath the fish further away. But when we first built this pond, 2 bottom drains. Over just here, there was a massive eucalyptus tree, which if anyone's got a eucalyptus tree in their garden, be very aware that when it's round a pond, in the summer they dry out and they start to shed the bark. And with the bark, and we do struggle on algae on this pond because of the sunlight, it's very hard water. So we keep it treated as much as we can. But yeah, do be aware when it sheds the bark, if it mixes with a bit of algae or even just the bark itself, it was an absolute nightmare on the bottom drains and they kept getting blocked continuously. So in the end, the customer's actually taken the tree down because there just wasn't really a way to rectify it.
Right, so here we have Dave working live on the bottom drain. 1 pool, full pond, 1 very low bottom drain. Let's see how this goes. Here we go. Still ready to oh, Dave.
Morning everyone. Right, we are on day 3, so hopefully this we should have it all done today and up and running. The loads of cat fowls on the line, drying over the weekend. For anyone that had an eagle eye as well, you'll have noticed when we got here, the poor goldfish that were in here and they got no pump or filter running on there. So we spoke to the customer and we put a hose lock easy clear in. So that's a built-in, it's got a built-in UV and filter pump. So hopefully we'll clean that out today. It's been running over the weekend. Hopefully that'll clear up. The ponds, unfortunately, which is obvious because of the weather we've been having, is starting to go a bit green, but it won't take long to clear up. But yeah, the other day we had a brilliant day getting it all in there. I'm not going to lie, it's been a tight squeeze to do it. We've tried to keep the piping as tidy as we can. So we bought the bottom drains are in strange positions because of the old filtration. So we brought them up and tried to keep them all in line. For those of you that have seen previous videos, as we've said before, it's sometimes hard to get big 4-inch ball valves in. So we've just used gate valves there. And then as you can see, we just cap them off with these. So all you have to do, just undo that, take the cap off, and then you can purge direct away. So it's never a problem, as I say, we can use bungs and stuff. We've got the manifold set up here, so for the 3 returns, that is actually the waterfall pump. The other pump is located at the back there behind the UV. The drums all in. The UV as well, we're using the big Bitron, and that's mainly, one, they're an excellent UV filter, but also, if you remember, we had the 110s across here, but the way they have to be mounted, it means that there's electrics down by the bottom. And we did have once where the sump pump, unfortunately, it didn't kick in, and the water level came up in here because it was in the middle of the winter. And obviously, when the UVs get wet and they're submerged in water, they trip the power. So what we've actually tried to do, you can see from the control panel here, and all the electrics over there, and then with the UV we've actually managed to mount that so all the electrics are right up at the top, so even if anything fails, it should all stay nice and dry, and we won't have any parts to replace or anything. We've also, being as we put the drum filter in, the drum filters, they obviously sit higher than the original filters, so if you can just see, we've had to put these sleepers under just to bump it up 100mm, just so all the trapdoors and everything will shut when it goes down over the filter. But yeah, as I say, it's the final day today, so we will get cracking on it, and then I'll run through it all once we've done. On this, as I previously said, and you should have, you'll have seen during the video, all this piping here we have done live with the pond full. So unless you're absolutely confident, I'd never recommend anyone doing it, but it was just to show you that it is possible to do. And obviously as we glue in each joint, we have to just put our arm down the pipe and slowly move the bung further back until eventually we get right up to the gate valves, and then we cap it off. It's a bit of a slower process obviously, but it saved a hell of a lot of time in the long run, because we didn't have to drain 6,000 gallon and remove all the fish. So yeah, it can be done, and as I say, it's tricky to do. I'm glad it didn't go wrong, because we would have been had an absolute nightmare. But yeah, it's all done now, and we've just got the final bits to do, which is kind of, we've got a bit of pipe work to finish down here, hook up the electrics, and then just get everything fired up and tested and make sure it's all running. So we'll get to it. All right then, we've just finished packing up. I was a bit concerned this morning, we still had quite a lot to do, but we've managed to pull it off, and we've got it all done. As you can probably just hear in the background there, the drum is it's cleaning quite a lot at the moment. The pond's fairly murky now, so it's going to be cleaning quite a bit for the next 24 hours, just while it starts to clear the pond up. I'll just quickly run through this side of it first with you. So we're actually running on the Venturis on this, which we put on when we originally built it 9 years ago, because as I say, they used to run a lot of the ponds on Venturis, and great way to get extra oxygen in there. So we've got the one return under the bridge there running. You can see another one over there. We've also put an air stone into the pond. The waterfall is back up and running, and then we've got the third return over there. We've also, being as there wasn't a balance pipe going into the filter area, if I zoom in, we've just snuck in over there. There is just there, that's an automatic top up. So I'm going to bring some more cobbles and we'll cover that over. But yeah, it's just like a float that will just, when the pond starts to go down, that'll kick in and it will top the ponder. But yeah, it's all going good. So I'll go over the filter with you now. Right then, I'm happy with how it's all come out. Obviously when you're retrofitting this stuff, when it's not first designed for it, it can be a bit difficult and end up a bit tricky putting it all in. But yeah, it's all nice and tidy, come out well. So just wait for that to finish cleaning. As you can just see, that's clean. What we're actually doing on this one is we've done a sump, a header tank, and we've got a finer filter down there and then a bigger filter there. So what I'm actually hoping on that is where it goes down into the sump area here and the pumps in there, occasionally, being as it lets through big solids, it used to clog the pump up. So we're going to trial it, see how that box does. Hopefully it'll stop big stuff going down there, and then we can just vac the box out when we come occasionally. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So we've got the control panel mounted on here. That then runs round to this plug socket. We haven't put it in a switch box because the control panel, it comes with a built-in fuse on it. And if you take it to a switch box, it needs a minimum, I think it is, of a 10 amp. So it can trip the switch boxes because they're only on small fuses. So yeah, that's going round to the plug socket. As I mentioned previously, we've got our 2 purge drains there that we've just put blanking caps on. And as mentioned, the piping on here, when we were doing that, we were using, if you haven't seen one before, I always keep a couple of these in the van. We were using these bungs. As you do at this, it expands the bung, and it's ideal for it's what they're designed for, is to block the pipe off. And yeah, we wouldn't have got the job done without it. We've then got the 3 returns, and they're on a manifold, so they can be individually controlled. We are running the pump slightly slower at the moment, just while the pond's clearing, but then I will probably speed that up slightly when we come back. So the first pump just down here, that is coming from the skimmer, and then it literally just goes straight up to that, straight up to the waterfall. So that's the control panel for that. We've then got the switch box and the 240 Bitron UV. I say, great piece of kit, keep the water nice and clear. We have put this over the top just to make sure no water can sit on the top there. Didn't want these electrics getting damaged. And we've mounted it very high, so hopefully the water level won't ever get up to that height, so it won't affect it or anything. There is 2 returns coming out of there, so we've put them and teed them in, and then it's from the pump down there, and that is drawing. When I said it was tight to get it in, it was seriously tight. That is drawing from either side of the drum. We wanted to pull from both sides of the drum because, as what I said to you previously, there's bypasses in the drum, so you want to be pulling evenly from them. So yeah, we've set that up on there. So I'll take the lid off and we'll go over the drum. Right, I just wanted to mention as well, obviously these screens, I've heard people say, oh, the screens break all the time, they have problems with the drum, and I'm not saying anyone does anything wrong with the drum at all. I know sometimes it's just bad luck and things will break down. You will have faults with the equipment from time to time, you know. It's like having a car. Unfortunately, it has to be serviced and parts have to be changed occasionally. Obviously, you're hoping that's going to be minimal, but it seems that some people do have problems more often than others. But what I did want to say is these screens that are in here, they will need maintaining. I think a lot of the time is people are sold drums filters on with all the drum filters, and then they get told that it's no maintenance, it's completely maintenance free virtually, which it's not. You still need to check these. If this was on my pond at home, I'd be checking these screens at least once a month, if not every 2 weeks. Just take a screen out, just check the amount of biofilm on there, and especially if you live in a hard water area, you will get limescale build up on there, and the jets, even though them jets underneath there are very powerful, they'll struggle to remove limescale builder. So if you're not getting enough water coming through here and the water starts to drop in here, it is putting a huge immense of pressure on these screens. You know, the closest thing that I could put it to is if you fill a bucket of water, which will hold approximately 20 litres, if you hold that out with your arm, feel the weight of that bucket and see how long you can hold your arm straight for, because it's not going to be very long. Whereas this drum, obviously when this is full of water, if this side, your clean side, is draining down because you haven't got enough water coming through, this drum probably holds 4 or 5 bucketfuls of water. So all that water pressure is pushing on these sieves, and obviously at the end of the day there's only one thing that's going to happen there, and it's going to be that the sieves will rip. So yeah, you must keep the sieves maintained and do check them intermittently. We will be coming out to this pond probably once a month to do an intermittent check, and then I would say once every 2 to 3 months we'll be doing a full clean down, clean all this section out here to make sure we haven't got waste caught up anywhere. We'll check the wash pump to make sure that's all clean, check all the drums lubricated, because at the moment when they're brand new, that spins with ease, but over time as the grease wears off, it will need re-greasing and it will become much harder to spin. So it just needs, as I say, it does need maintenance, and it needs not so much, it won't need loads of maintenance, but it definitely needs checking. I mean, it never hurts as well. Obviously you've got the control panel and that will tell you if there's an error, so at least check occasionally every couple of weeks that your control panel isn't throwing up errors or anything. But yeah, just, it's like anything on a pond. My customers always say, how often should we maintain it? Anything on a pond, the more you can maintain it, the better. But obviously people are busy, we have commitments, we can't always check everything weekly. So the more you can do it, the better. But yeah, just make sure you are stripping them down and properly having a look, check there's no biofilm build up, limescale build up, anything else in there, because the water, it needs to be passing through them sieves freely, or else you're either going to get it over cleaning, or even worst case scenario, these are going to end up tearing, which obviously nobody wants, because then you're replacing parts and it's going to cost you money. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this has all come out. I'll show you a quick look over the pond and stuff, and that's us on this video pretty much. So hope you've all enjoyed it, and we shall see you on the next one.